So welcome everyone to this training. So today, I think from the email, we are going to take you through the migration, the technical migration process. This is kind of A to Z of the migration that I think some of you guys have already done, but I'm sure there's a majority maybe who have not done this. So we felt it was very important just to ensure that everyone is taken care of and everyone is comfortable to migrate data from IQCare to KenyaEMR. So from the communication last week, I shared a couple of resources that everyone needed to have downloaded already. Some were supposed to already be running on your machines. For instance, IQCare is supposed to be functional in your machine. IQ Tools is supposed to be working on your machine. DWAPI should be running on your machine. And you should have an instance of Ubuntu with KenyaEMR installed, or you might have a virtual box with KenyaEMR installed. So those were some of the instructions given. So I want to believe up to this point that we all have those. So then we just concentrate on the process of migration. Again, I'd requested that you prepare a low volume database, a database from a low volume facility. So then we don't take a lot of time waiting for the migration process. So I want to believe that we are all ready to begin. So having said so, I think then the next thing is just about the usual housekeeping rules. One is about asking questions for those who are attending for the first time. Please feel free to type in your questions in the chat area. We have a whole team that will be able to respond to them. And again, given that this is a technical training, some of you might get stuck along the way. So our request is that whenever you are stuck, let us know. If you have a team viewer or if you have any desk, give us the ID so then we can remotely access your machine and help you and unstuck you, if that word exists. Okay. Yeah. So again, whoever is going to log into your machine, you may feel free to also share your contact with him or her, so then they can also take you through what they are doing. They can give you instruction on what they are doing. Okay. Otherwise, during the middle of the presentation, feel free to raise up your hand. That will mean interruption. So whoever is presenting will stop and you'll be able to comment or ask a question, whichever you have, as we proceed. As usual, the call is being recorded. So then after this, you'll be able to find all that we are going to do today in our official YouTube channel, KenyaEMR YouTube channel. Feel free to subscribe, so then you'll be notified whenever there is new update or any new file that is updated there. Okay, so I have a very brief presentation to make on the migration itself. So I'll just share my screen. Just a minute. Can someone confirm if my screen is visible?
No.
I can see it on my end.
How about now?
That's fine.
Okay. Yeah, so again, as we have said, this is going to be a technical migration training for those who are going to migrate from IQCare to KenyaEMR platform. So from Palladium, as HMIS, as Kenya HMIS project, we have been able to develop a migration service that is supposed to support all our partners who are going to migrate to seamlessly migrate from IQCare to KenyaEMR with no data loss and through a very simple process that should ensure that all stakeholders that are going to participate are aware of the requirement and they're able to receive appropriate feedback in a timely manner. So then that can facilitate the migration process. So the scope of this whole service was kind of to just, it entailed all the processes that were to be carried out within the migration process. And the assumptions were made about the migration roadmap, which is was an internal document that was guiding the entire roadmap from the time we started this in early this year to the time it ended last month on 21st. So what is involved? What does this package entails? So the entire package has got phases. There is a package that is there for the pre-migration, which I think is being handled by the partner, by the stakeholders. This includes the site preparation processes and also the pre-migration engagement with the MOH and also at the site level. Then the migration phase, which is the actual migration, the actual technical migration phase, which includes the data extraction, data staging, transformation, loading, and all, which we are going to take you through today and tomorrow. Then after this, once the partners are done with the migration, there is the next step of the approval and sign-offs, which includes the verification of reports, the DQA reports, and the checklist completion. That will kind of, the sign-off will mean that the migration in a certain facility is a success. So then they can now safely move on to the next stage where they're going to utilize the data. Then lastly, which is now like a continuous package, is where we are going to also have the post-migration capacity development and also monitor the use, which the partners will be counting on the partners to monitor. And also the partners will be able to provide the post-migration technical support where they can, and also with KenyaEMR backstopping them. So when it comes to the technical migration process, we have developed a package that is going to assist you to migrate from IQCare database to KenyaEMR. And we've relied on two major technologies here, which are both open source. So the first technology we relied on is called the Pentaho data integration. You can call it the PDI if you want, which supports the extraction and transformation of data from IQCare database. Then on the KenyaEMR side, we are relying on a module called OpenMRS spreadsheet module, which kind of assists in loading that data into KenyaEMR database. So if you look at it, the entire process is simple. It's just the ETL process, the data extraction, then the data transformation, and the last one is the data loading into KenyaEMR. So it's a very simple process, and the technologies that are supporting that in the background are the two, the Pentaho and also the OpenMRS spreadsheet module. So someone would be asking, what is this Pentaho all about? As I said, it kind of enables you to build transformation and run scheduled jobs on the source data, on the source database, and it allows you to transform that data in a way that you want it to be. So then you can import that data into the target database. So in our case, the target database is the KenyaEMR database, and that's how we use the OpenMRS spreadsheet module to import that data. So the PDI is on the extraction and transformation side, and then the spreadsheet module is on the loading side. So I guess that's clear. So the PDI, as I said, is an open source application. And for those who have run it, it looks something like what you have on your window. Okay, so if you do all your configurations well, like what we are going to show you now, you're likely to see something like what is on your screen. And then once you transform, you extract and transform your database, you'll be seeing green ticks per data set. That means that data set has already been extracted and transformed, okay? And below you'll be seeing some logs just to kind of show you the progress of the whole process. So I've talked about OpenMRS spreadsheet module, which allows us to import the data into OpenMRS, the data that we have extracted from IQCare to OpenMRS. Okay, so again, within the same package, there is the data quality component, because the migration is the easier part. But what is being migrated? So you want to be sure that if you're migrating mangoes, you're actually getting mangoes at the end of the day. So there is the DQA component, which we have separated into two levels. The first side is the pre-migration DQA activities, and then on the second side is the post-migration activities. So this is supposed to kind of guide us in terms of verifying the data before migration and verify this data post-migration, just to be sure that we have a level of confidence that that then we can proceed and rely on the data once the migration process is done. And I think, as you'll be told tomorrow during the DQA, the data validation training, you'll be told why this is important and what tools are available, what tools have been availed as part of the package to kind of support you to perform this, and then you'll be able to verify your data. Then the last bit within that package is the capacity building package, which we have separated into, we have categorized them into two tiers, where the first tier is Palladium, the KenyaEMR, where we'll be taking the partners through the various trainings that are necessary for them to cross over and start supporting the KenyaEMR platform. And the second tier is where the now partners take this particular knowledge and cascade it down to the end users, as well as down to the counties and sub-county through various engagement forums, as might be necessary after the migration, also before the migration. So I think this is something I think that partners have been engaged a lot on, and I'm sure all the partners are, they understand their roles when it comes to cascaded capacity building approaches. Okay, yeah, so that's my brief presentation on the same. So should you have any question on that, or if you have any comment, kindly go to the chat and just type that particular comment or question. Otherwise, thank you very much. So the next step is going live and doing the practical part. So we have two presenters, two facilitators for the afternoon session. We are going to have Leon Lavatsa, who is going to take us through the extraction and transformation aspect. Then we have Kennedy Ogutu, who is going to take us through the data import into KenyaEMR. So at this point, believing and trusting that you have downloaded your tools, kindly have them ready so then we can be taken through the migration process. So Leon, if you are here, I think you are free to take over. For those who did not download the PDI, I'm sharing a link just right here. I'm sharing a link in the chat area. You can download it as Leon starts. Just a minute. Okay, so here's the link. Okay, so you can download the PDI right there and and use it. Otherwise, Leon, kindly take it away.
Thank you, Bernard. I hope you guys can get me loud and clear. So, yes, I'm Leon, and I'm just going to take you through the process of extraction and transformation. And for us to begin, we are going to start by, we need to make sure that we have all the prerequisites with us. So, the mode of training that we are going to check today, we are going to do it all together. So I'll be sharing my screen in a few, but I need us to be, we'll just do it together, we'll follow together. If you get stuck, don't hesitate to raise your hand, or if I seem to be going too fast, raise your hand. And I hope we all have any desktop team viewer. We have a team on standby that will be ready to connect. Now, we are going to start by, I don't know, have all of us installed MySQL? Is there anyone who has not installed MySQL? Bernard had shared a link, so if we have not, I just want to take us through the installation of MySQL and Java. Those are the prerequisites that we need. That is Java 8 and MySQL version 5.6. So we are just going to go through the installation quickly together. So I hope all of us have downloaded it. For those who have not installed, we are just going to go through it together quickly so that we can be on the same page. So let's get ready. I'm going to share my screen in a few. All those who can see my screen, say aye. Are you seeing my screen?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yes, you can see.
Okay, thank you. So, just a minute. Yeah. Once you've downloaded MySQL, I hope you have all downloaded it. Eh? You don't need to go through the process of downloading. Is there anybody who has not downloaded it yet? Is there anyone who has not downloaded it? Tuko pamoja?
Yes.
Hello? Should I assume all of us have downloaded it? Hatutaki kuacha mtu nyuma. Okay, I'll assume you've downloaded it. So once you've downloaded the installer, I'm just going to take you through the installation process of installing it on your Windows machine. So I'll just double click on the installer. Should be getting a Windows box like that. Just takes a few minutes to prepare for installation. So I said we are going to use MySQL version 5.6. Is there anyone whose machine has already brought the installation page? I hope your machines are faster than mine. Is there anyone whose machine has finished preparing for the installation? I hope we are doing this together. Ama sisi wote tunafanya na mashine yangu. Tunamaliza? Bado, sawa.
Leon, allow me to just check the roll call one more time as the MySQL installs. I think I'm having just a few confirmations. I don't know, do we have anyone from UMB Timiza? UMB Timiza? None. Do we have anyone from Gibashua? Okay. Anyone from Walter Reed, Nairobi? Walter Reed, Nairobi? Anybody from ICAP?
I'm Steve from IQCare.
Okay. Karibu. Anyone from CHS Naishi? CHS Naishi? Anybody from AHF? AHF?
Present.
Okay. Anyone that I haven't called, who is any partner that is within that I have not mentioned?
Not sure if you mentioned Alpha.
Sorry?
CHS Shinda.
Oh, Wambua, habari ya jioni. Okay. Karibu. Anyone else? Any other partner I haven't called? Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. So we can proceed. Over to you, Leon.
Hello, Leon. Hello.
Yes.
Now, when I open my SQL, when I open the link, I get two downloads. There's one for Windows 64-bit zip archive and the one for debug binaries and test suite. So which one do I?
You get?
Sorry.
Hello, just come again.
When I open, when I click on the link for my SQL,
Yes.
there are two downloads I get. There's one for just general Windows, the 64-bit zip archive. Then the 64 zip archive that is debug binaries and test suite. So which one do I go for?
Do you see anywhere written MSI installer?
Amen?
Installer, MSI installer.
Yeah.
Yes, that is what we are downloading, yeah?
Yeah. Okay.
Let me just share my screen. On the MySQL download page,
Yeah.
Just a minute. I think when you get, this is what you're getting, right?
Yes, that's what I'm getting, yes.
Now, we come here. You see this Windows 86, 34, 60,
Yeah.
32, 64 bits, go
Yeah.
to the MySQL install MSI, go to the
Okay.
download page.
Okay.
Then you'll get this,
Okay.
then download this one, the bottom one.
The
This
bottom
one.
one. Thanks.
Yes, download. Anyone else who's stuck? So for guys who have whose preparations are finished, I think you should be going to the next page. We can still continue as mine continues. I think my machine is misbehaving today. So you'll see a page where you are asked for the license agreement. You can accept the license. You can read it, go through it. I hope we just don't accept without reading. So once you accept the license agreement, it will ask you for the setup type. So on the setup, under the setup type, you will see either developer default, server only, client only, full, or custom. Just select full. Halo, tuko pamoja?
Kabisa.
So tuko hapa kwa setup type, for those who are finished. Is there anybody on the choosing a setup type page? Hello?
Yes,
Nani
I'm
ako
there.
hapo? Oh, you're there, eh?
Yes.
Haya, select full. Then you just see a next page. So it will do some checks and request you to install some dependencies if you don't have. So just install them. Ukikwama, kindly just raise up your hand. We have guys ready to help. Nani amekwama? Sorry for mine. Mine is a little bit slow. Once you've installed the dependencies, you should be able to be going to the next page, which just gives you the different MySQL packages that will be installed. That is MySQL Server, MySQL Workbench, the connector. Just select all of them if you're already there. Umefika wapi? Hello, tumefika wapi?
Leon,
Yes.
yangu inaonyesha connector or DBC like 3 options. I don't know if I have the latest.
Okay, could you just share your any desk on the chat, please? Okay.
Okay, how do I do that? Inakataa kushare screen.
Oh, not the screen. Just when you open your AnyDesk, you'll see a connection ID, a number. Just post, write the number on the chat area on your Zoom. Okay. Anyone else who's stuck?
Everyone. Okay.
Thank you. Somebody is connecting in a few. Tafadhali usikwame na unyamaze. Raise up your hand.
Leon? Leon?
Yes. Sorry.
So the setup type is default, right?
The setup type, select full.
Full, eh? Then
Yes.
you go to next.
Yes.
Okay. Then on the next page, you have to check requirements. What do you check?
Do you see there is a button at the bottom there written execute or something?
Yes.
Yes. Press on execute.
So I execute without checking anything.
Yeah, just execute. They're already listed there, so you don't have to check.
Okay.
It will execute and try and run if the requirements are on your computer. If they are not, it will prompt you to install them. So you will install them, then continue.
Okay.
So for CBD, kindly just accept the request. Somebody is trying to connect to your AnyDesk. Just accept.
They're already connected.
Oh, they're already connected. Okay, thank you.
So after C++ is installed, what do you do next?
Hello, come again?
The Microsoft C++ is installed
Yes.
on the requirements.
Yes.
So I'm left with the Visual Studio and the connector, which are manual, right?
Yes.
Do I check
So,
them or
yes.
I go to next?
No, you can go to next.
Sorry?
Go to next.
Next, without checking those two.
Yes, yes. Go to next. Those are manual. You can do without them. You can install them later.
Okay, so I'm being told one or more product requirements have not been satisfied.
Yes, you can still go to next.
Okay. So, okay. Then on installation, is there anything you're checking? Or we just execute?
Just execute. So as we continue, for those whose installation has gone well, you should be getting to the configuration part where you need to be setting up your MySQL password.
Hello, I hope sijawapoteza sana. Anybody who has reached the password part? We need to keep on moving because we still have Java to install. And if you're stuck, just share your AnyDesk credentials.
Hello?
Yes, yes.
Yes, I've tried to install it.
Yes.
It has gone through, but now it has disappeared from my desktop. But when I search through search box, I'm getting it there.
Yes.
I don't know now how to get it again. But I can search it through search box.
When you search, you can see it, huh?
Yes.
On your machine, huh?
Yes.
And if you select it from the search, from the results that you get from the search.
So it is when I try to open it, it is not opening.
Okay, okay, just in the interest of time, could you just share your AnyDesk login so someone can, yeah, just share it on the chat.
Yeah.
Leon.
Yes.
So at high availability, do you leave it at standalone or go to DB cluster? That stage at high availability.
Yes, you can standalone.
Standalone is selected. Oh, so I go to next.
Yeah. Yes.
Is there anything else to select on type and network?
Hello, just come again.
Type and networking. Is there anything else to select?
No. Just leave it like that.
And, okay.
So I think after that you should be on the accounts and roles page. Yes. So do not add user. Just set your MySQL root password and confirm it. So remember to put a password that is easy to remember, one that you will not forget.
Okay.
Yeah. Then next. When you get to the Windows service page, do not select anything, just leave it as it is. Then you will move to the apply server configuration and execute.
what have you said happens at the Windows service? I select nothing. I just
Yes,
at
select
status.
nothing. Yes.
Okay. So what about apply configuration?
Execute. So once it's done executing, you'll move to the product configuration. Just select next.
Okay.
Yeah. So it should be completing after that. So I think we should be on the installation complete page.
What did you say happens at my scale router configuration? Leon.
Paul, I had muted. So what are the options that you have there?
At the router configuration, just bootstrap basically.
Oh, is it selected? You can just leave it.
No, it's unselected.
When you just move to next,
it's finish. Okay, so without selecting.
Finish. Yeah, just finish.
So on the connect server,
yes,
is the show my SQL server instances that may be running in the read-only mode.
I don't think we need to show that right now. So what is there a next button after that?
Sorry?
You're still in the installer. You're still in the installer.
Yeah.
Yes. So what is the next option after that? Do we have next or do we have finish?
No, it's supposed to. I'm supposed to enter something. So either I select that or I just put the username and password.
Okay. Yeah. Just select the username. Put root.
I put root, eh?
Yes, that's the username.
Uh-huh.
And the password is the password that you had put, eh?
Okay.
And then there is an option of test connection, eh?
Okay, wait. Check.
Yes, check. Is it check or test? One of those.
It's check.
Okay, So just put the username and password, then check, then continue.
Connection succeeded. Okay, so I can go to next now.
Yes.
Then I execute.
Yes. Is it done executing? Hello?
We do not see the change ideas. Next slide. I think the updated slide has the change ideas. Video Robert, this may not be the most updated. But basically what we are trying to learn is that after your root cause, then we get ideas based on the prioritize root causes that you want to.
Wiki moja.
So that is what we mean. Then from that.
So in the interest of time, we are just going to, I'm going to show you, we are just going to move to Java. I hope we all have Java. We downloaded from the link, we downloaded our Java 8, Java version 8. So I hope you can see on my screen. You should be, from your downloads, you should be having an EXE file like this. So it's quite straightforward. I'm just going to double click on it. So remember, for the PDI tool to run, it's a Java application. So you need to be having Java 8 running, 8 and above running on your machine. So without Java, you won't be able to launch the PDI tool. I hope tuko pamoja. Sorry, I've been talking and I'm on mute. So I hope you just saw the steps of installing Java. It's just next. Quite simple. For those installing the installation should be almost through right now. So once that is done, you just close and we've successfully installed Java and MySQL Server 5.6. So the next step that we are going to do, we need to set the environment variables so that our PCs can be able to know the parts where Java and MySQL are installed. So to do that, first of all, you need to find out where the installation was done. Where when I installed the MySQL or when I installed Java, where was the installation done? So to do this, let us just go to drive C on our PCs. Once I'm in drive C, move to program files 86. There, you will see a folder known as Java. Just click on it. You'll see the Java version that you have. So we are going to use, we said JDK 8. So we are just going to select this JDK 1.8. This is what we are going to use. Just open it. Then you'll see the bin folder, a folder written bin. Just open it. Now we need to specify this part in the environment variables. So on the address bar up here, just right click on it and say copy address as text. Once you've done that, for easy access, just go to the search on your computer and search for environment variables. Edit the system environment variables. So I'll just click on that. You should be getting a system properties dialog box like this one. At the bottom, you'll see the environment variables box. Just click on it. And now we are going to add to the system variables. There are two variables, environment variables there. You'll see user variables and system variables. Now select system variables. Under system variables, you'll see new. Oh, sorry, not new, just edit. Select edit. Sorry, you'll select under system variables, you'll see a system variable with the variable name path and a value. So select path and edit. Once you've done that, you will come here on the edit environment variables dialog box. You will see a box, a new box, the box for new, for adding a new environment variable path. Just select new and paste the path, the Java path that we had copied earlier. Then press OK. And OK. Kuna mtu amebaki nyuma hapo? Kindly usibaki nyuma. Are we together? Someone kindly confirm that we are together. Hello? Tuko pamoja?
Tuko pamoja.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, tuko pamoja. Leon.
Thank you. So we are going to do the same for MySQL. Still on local disk C. Program files. You'll see the MySQL folder, open it. So you'll see the version of MySQL that you've installed. We did MySQL Server 5.6, open it. You'll see a folder written bin. Open bin. Copy the address. Move to environment variables. You get the system properties dialog box. Open the environment variables to path, edit, new, then copy paste. Mine is already there. Copy paste your file path, the file path of MySQL there. Once you're done, okay. And we are now done with the prerequisites. So once you're done installing the prerequisites, for the especially for the environment variables changes to take place, you need to restart your machine. So I don't know if, for the guys that were installing, are we together? Tuko pamoja for the guys that were installing.
Tuko pamoja.
Okay. So before we restart our machines, I hope all of us have IQCare running. So the first step before you proceed with migration, the first step you need to send the data that is in IQCare to the National Data Warehouse. So I don't know if I'm hoping that all of us have IQCare and IQ tools running and DWAPI, and the databases that we have, are they up to date? Because we want to send the data to the National Data Warehouse before we proceed with migration. Before migration, we send data to the National Data Warehouse. Then after migrating, again, we send data to the National Data Warehouse. So we need to do that right now. Are we together? Does the database that we have, are they up to date? Or I think Bernard Otieno, you can give us guidance on that, Andy?
No, I think guys can use can upload whatever they have, because I'm sure not everyone has uploaded any data for July. So you can just upload whatever you have for July, but then it will be replaced by the correct data that will be uploading for July. So for those who have not uploaded their data for July, feel free to just upload them to be able to run the correct one later on, and it will be replaced in the data warehouse.
Okay, thank you. So, should
Leon,
we just, yes.
maybe I'm of a different opinion.
Okay.
Because chances are the databases that the team have is maybe stale. So probably we may not want to upload, but we're just confirming that everyone understands how to upload the data to the warehouse, so that it does not just go and replace the data that is current. Otieno, I'm just suggesting that maybe we can just make an assumption that everyone attended the DWAPI training and they know how to upload data. Then we just say this is part of the process for migration and maybe not do it live right now.
Yeah, that's okay. I think that's better.
Yeah.
Okay, Sasa, then I think we can continue. So for just to confirm that we are running the correct things, we need to know, just to confirm that we have installed the correct things, we just need to know the versions of MySQL and Java that we are running. So just open your CMD command, your command prompts, just to confirm, and type in MySQL version. Should be getting something like that. Is there anybody getting anything different from that?
No, they got the same.
Okay, do the same for Java. Oh, I did not restart my machine, so the changes have not taken effect. But for those who had already installed, what version of Java are you getting? Hello? Hello? Nobody has installed Java?
So if you had a higher version already running, do you need to downgrade?
No, you don't.
Okay, mine is 13.
Okay. 8 and above, eh? Sorry, I was on mute. So, as I was saying, I hope all of us have downloaded the PDI migration toolkit, and this is what you should be having. So, just make sure on your PDI migration tool folder, you have these two folders inside: data integration and transformation. Confirm you have both of them. So I assume all of us are there. So that we let us just continue. So the first thing you need to do, you need to create two databases in MySQL, where data is going to move from the IQCare database. It's going to move into a staging area. Then it's going to move to be transformed and moved into a transformation database. Then the transformed database is the database that we are going to pick and put it on KenyaEMR. So the first thing that we need to do, we need to create that staging area where the data is going to move. So we are going to open our MySQL that we had installed earlier. So just search for MySQL command line client, double click on it. Should bring for you a dialog box, a black or editing box. I hope you can see, or should I do this? Should bring for you the MySQL command line client box. So I hope you all remember the passwords that we had put. So I'm just going to input my password and press enter, and you should get the welcome message in MySQL. So from there, we are going to create the two databases. And this is how you do it. Just type the command create database. So you need to get this correctly. The first database is called migration_st. So for the staging, migration_st. So that is the first database that we are creating. So just type there, type that command. We are prompting MySQL to create the database. Create database migration_st. And press enter. Should be created. Then we are going to create another database. Create database migration_tr. And press enter. So we have created the two databases for the staging and transformation. Is there anybody getting an error there? If you are not getting query, okay, or if you have not reached to this page, kindly just raise up your hand to squash Enyuma. Tuko pamoja?
Ndio.
Once this is done, we're done with that. You can just exit. And we go back to these two files in the PDI migration tool. So the next thing that we are going to do, we are going to do a connection strings between the PDI migration tool and where the databases are. First, we are going to direct the tool where the IQCare database is. And we are also going to direct the tool where the staged migration ST and migration TR databases are. So open the data integration folder. And there you will see a folder known as simple JNDI. Just open it and you'll get a file for Java JDBC .properties. It is a properties JSON file. So I'm just going to edit it. You can either edit it with Notepad you have. I'm going to use Notepad++. Just select the editor that you want to edit with. Once you open it, you should be having it looks like this. So if you move to the bottom, you'll see that the connections, this is the MySQL connection to the migration ST and migration TR database. So the connections have already been defined. This just means the URL, this is localhost and migration ST, the databases that we have created. Now for the username and password, the username is root. The password, change it to the password that you had set during installation of MySQL. Your MySQL password. Under MySQL_ST/password, input the password that you had set, your MySQL root password that we had set during installation. So for me, my MySQL root password is test. So this remains as it is. So you do it for the migration_ST connection, and you also do it for the migration_TR connection. Once you're done with that, you move to the MS SQL connection. Now, this part here, the bottom part, the bottom connection, refers to your IQCare database connection. Where is your IQCare database located? So we are going to start with this. You need to input here the name of the server. It's just the connection strings. So the first part after the /, this is the name of the server that you're running. So for myself is desktop. This is /SQL Express. Then you move to the database name. For me, the database that I'm using is called IQCare_Zoo. So you input your server instance name. This is the instance name of your MS SQL server. You input the instance name, then you input the database name of the facility database that you intend to migrate. Then the user is SA and the password for myself is Constella. So I hope we are done with that. Nani amebaki nyuma? Nani amebaki nyuma? Tusibaki nyuma. Tuko pamoja? Are we done with editing this? Can I get a confirmation? Tumemaliza?
Yes.
Aya, sawa. So once you're done with that, just save the changes and close. Then go back to your, still the same folder, the data integration. So once we are here in this folder, you will, towards the bottom part, you will see a batch file by the name spoon. So this is the spoon that we are going to run for migration. So just right click on it and run as administrator. Takes a few minutes to open up. Ni kama tumepotea? Are we together? I hope we all see, we are all on the same page. Ya nani imefungua? Is anyone seeing a different page from mine? So once it's open, you should be seeing a page like this. Tuko pamoja? Are we all here? Hello, can someone confirm? Ako hapa?
Yes, tuendelee.
Okay, now we are just going to go through, quickly go through the spoon. So the first thing that we are going to do, you'll see there are 3 panels over here. We have work, learn, extend, and upgrade. This is how the PDI, that's the Pentaho data integration tool, looks like. So we are going to use the work panel. So under work, you'll see open files, new transformation, and new job. So the scripts have already been written. So what we are going to do is just to attach the scripts that have already been written that are here. The scripts are here in this transformations folder. We have the data integration and the transformations. So we are just going to attach the scripts and we are just going to use the PDI to run the scripts that have already been written. So just click on open files. It will take you directly to the transformations. But if it does not, you can just browse up to it. So for me, I have saved it in local disk C. So it depends on where you have saved it. So PDI migration tool, transformations. Inside transformations, we have some scripts. So there is one script that we are going to run, and it is known as migration_job_1.kjb. So I'm just going to select that and press open. Take just a few minutes. So once I've done that, this is how it will look like. And these are just the different scripts. It will just show you what is running and what is not running, the different scripts for the different data sets that are going to be migrated. So once you have this, we need now to do a connection to the databases. We already defined the connection strings. Now we are just doing the connection. So you come here to, you'll see here on the top, we have some options. We have file, edit, view, action, and tools. Come tools and help. Come to tools. Under tools, come to wizard. Then create a database connection. Select that. So we are just connecting the application to the database. So First of all, we start with the name of the database connection. So you can just type there MySQL, then select the type of database you want to connect to. So we are connecting to MySQL, where we had the migration ST and migration TR. The connectors are already there. Then select next. Host name of the database server. Mine is because we installed MySQL on the local machine, so the host is localhost. The database that we are connecting to is migration underscore TR, the database that we had created. Then we move to next. The username, it's root. And you input the password that you had put during your installation. Just to make sure this is correct, I'll just test the database connection. And it has shown me that connection was successful. Then okay, then I finish. From there, I'm ready to go. Now, at the top panel of the Spoon Migration Toolkit, you'll see an execute button, run. It looks like a play button on the top left corner of the panel. Just click on it. Sorry, it's taking a few minutes. Yeah, it will just confirm you the configurations that you've done. Select run. It will now ask you to save the job. Say yes. And at the bottom part here, these are the logs. So in case of any errors or anything, the logs will tell you where the errors are and the cause of the errors. And these are the different data sets. These are the various data sets. We have demographics, HIV enrollments, triage, HTS tests. So you can just scroll up to the bottom part and it will tell you what it's doing. So it's moving the demographics to the stage database, then to the TR, then it validates them. So it's moving from IQCare to migration ST to migration TR. So it will just take a few minutes to do that. Once it's done, it will give you a tick just to show you that it is already done. By any chance you get an error, you'll get an X, which is red, and the logs here will help you know where the error is. The logs are running down here. So it will also give you the starting time. That's it, 16:06, and it will also give you the end time. Once it's done, it will let you know, so you can easily calculate the time that it has taken to migrate. Yeah, nani imepata error? Are we together up to there? I hope tuko pamoja. Grace, I don't know if there are any questions that you can take. Do you have anyone with any question? Hakuna maswali? I can see from the chat somebody has requested for it to be uploaded. Yes, after this, the the videos are going to be uploaded in our YouTube channel. Yes, the tutorials are also there and the job aid. We'll be sharing the link to them. Any other questions? I have a folder in Drive C known as migration TR. This is where I want my backups to come. So I'll just pick the address. Once I've copied the address, I'm going to open my CMD command prompt. And run as admin. So I'm just going to do the MySQL dump. So this is how you do it. You type there MySQL dump, MySQL dump, -u root, -p. That is for the MySQL dump -new root -p. Then I'm going to say which database that I want it to back up, which dump I want. So the dump is migration _tr. That is the database I want. Then I'm going to specify where I want it. So I had already copied the file path. I want it to go to drive C inside a folder known as migration. And I'm also going to give it a name. So the name is migration _tr .sql and specify the kind of file that it is. So it's an SQL file. So my SQL dump -new root -p. That is for the authentication into my SQL. Then I specify the database that I want to dump. That is migration _tr, the name of the database. Then I have a greater than sign to specify the location as to which I want the database to be. That is C, drive C, inside a folder known as migration. And I'm going to give it a name. That is migration _tr.sql. That is the name I've given it. But in your case, you can select the name of the facility. You can give it the name of the facility.sql. After that, I'll just press enter. I'll be prompted for the password. This is my SQL password. So just input the password. Give it a few minutes. When I come back to my folder, I'll get the database. From here, I can now zip it and move it to KenyaEMR. So I think I'll take it to Ken Obutu, who will in turn just quickly take us through the process of now moving the database, the migration TR into the OpenMRS database. Thank you.
Yes, Salah. I'll quickly take you through. I'll quickly take you through the process of restoring the migration TR in KenyaEMR, and then import that data from migration TR database to OpenMRS database. So let me share my screen. Just confirm to me you're able to see my screen. Hello?
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Let me just log in. As we had agreed earlier, you need to have your system up and running. That is KenyaEMR version 17.11 for us to move on. This is my system, and from here you're able to see I'm running version 17.11 of KenyaEMR, which is the latest version, and the link was shared earlier. So let me just log in. First, you have to ensure that you have the migration TR with you. If you look at my system, I have the migration TR DB that Leon has just downloaded now. That is what we are going to use. If you can see from the screen, my OpenMRS database is empty. There's no any other figure that is displayed on the dashboard, meaning that the database is empty, doesn't have any data. So the first step is to log into MySQL database. MySQL, and then we create a database that is migration TR. That is upon if you go through the SOP section 3, you are supposed to create a migration TR database. That is where we are going to restore that DB. So I will log into MySQL. There we are. I'm now logged into MySQL. I would want to see the databases that are in the system before I create my database. Maybe at times it's already existing to avoid any issues. So I'm just trying to show the database that I have. These are the databases that I have, meaning that the migration TR database is not existing in the system. So I will create that database so that we restore the migration TR in it. So we'll use the following script to create the DB. I hope we are together. Kindly take note of the spelling or the naming of the DB, because that is what has been used in the code. If you use a different name, you may not be able to successfully import data to KenyaEMR from the migration TR database. Okay, I will go ahead and confirm that my database is already there. I hope everyone is able to see my screen. Migration TR is already there, and that is the database that I want to restore my migration TR into. So I will have it as the active one by using the following script. I will use migration _TR, use migration _TR. So it has indicated that the DB is already changed. So anything that I'm going to do now is going to be affected on migration TR database that I've just created. So for me to restore the DB, I will use the following script. I will source for it, and then I will quickly just drag it to my terminal. I remove the quotes and have my semicolon. Okay, so using that particular script, I'll be able to restore the database. Take a short time to restore the DB. I hope we are together. Depending on the size of your database, will determine how fast it is, and also the specifications of your machines in terms of memory allocations. It will determine, oh, good enough, this one is done. That is how fast you have restored the DB. So we are up to that point. We are done. What we just do is to exit. And we're done with the restoring of the DB to the migration TR database in MySQL. So I will go to KenyaEMR, and then our newly installed KenyaEMR will go to home. Okay, for any new installation of KenyaEMR, when you go to home, you'll have to specify which facility would you want to have in this system. So for me, the database that Leon I was working with was View. So I will give the same name to the database in KenyaEMR. So it was View Health Center. Okay, so this is the initial setup, and we save the settings. So you can see that now KenyaEMR has got the name View Health Center, which we are now working with. So for us to import data into KenyaEMR, we go to Home, and then go to developer. I hope we are together. And then go to legacy, admin UI. So from the administration page here, we are interested in the spreadsheet import module that we're going to use to migrate data from the migration TR database to OpenMRS database so that our KenyaEMR can have data. So we have two links here. We have the migrate data to KenyaEMR. This one will take you straight to the migration page, and the second link, the spreadsheet import template list, will give you a list of all the data set that will be migrated. If I click on the spreadsheet import template list, I will be able to see the list of data sets that are going to be migrated, okay? So from there, I can easily click migrate data sets. There's nothing more that I'm going to do but just click on migrate data sets. When I click on that, it brings me to this page whereby I would want to migrate all the data sets that I was showed in the previous page. I click on migrate all data sets for the process to start, okay? Depending on the specification of the machine and the size of the database, the time of completion varies. So, but you can be able to see the progress in terms of each and every data set and check whether all data for each data sets are migrated. Okay, so we have the data set name, the number of records that are in the migration TR, and the number of processed records that are being migrated to OpenMRS database. Okay, so the total records are what we have in migration TR, and the total number of processed records are the ones that are being migrated to OpenMRS database. So we hope that all will be migrated. So we just be patient. It take a short time. You can see the progress bar as the percentage increases depending on the number of records processed. Some are not processed, then you can be able to note down any anomalies, and then you follow the channel of communication, if any. Any questions up to that point?
Thank you, Ken. I think we are making very good progress. I'm sure you have overshot our time, which was supposed to be 4, but I think you'll kind of just bear with us. I think we took more time in solving MySQL. But I guess I've also shared, if you look at your chat area, I've also shared the SOP for all these processes that we have showed you. So at your own time, you can also go through that, especially for those who are seeing this for the first time. Yeah, so as the data loading process is taking place, I don't know if there is any person with any comment or observation now that you've seen what it entails to do the migration. So just carry up your hand and say something. I'm sure there are many people who have questions here or comment to make as we wait. I think, yeah, in the next kind of 5 minutes we'll be done. 5 to 10 minutes we'll be done. So who has a comment or a question? Just carry up your hand and let's hear it. Anyone? Seems guys are so quiet, or it's either that people are lost or people are anxious of when this will end. I don't know, but I'm sure there are guys who have done this, and maybe they can also share with us their experiences based on what they did and whether there were any challenges that the team that are yet to do this might anticipate. And I think, yeah, I'll pinpoint some people here. I don't know if Ombo is here. Kennedy Ombo.
Okay, this is Chris Kiama from HF.
Yes, Chris.
Since I've seen you have a number of scripts which you are trying to execute, is it possible, since you understand the IQCare database, the KenyaEMR database, are you able to generate the scripts and share with the technical guys? Instead of all the time typing, they just copy, paste, and execute the scripts. Because I believe these database has standards in terms of fields and data types and all that.
So let me see if I got you correctly. So you are like, you just want individual scripts to be run. You don't want the automated process.
Okay, you know the primary tables, you know the secondary tables in that order. If we could get the scripts from table number 1, table number 2, then we execute all the scripts. It would be easier for the guys to test this within the shortest time possible.
So, Chris, what happens is that the scripts were kind of developed and bundled into a package so that the end user who's going to do this particular migration doesn't have to worry about which data to pick from which table, because most of the targeted users might not be very technical, but the end result is that they would like their data bases to be migrated. So it was packaged in a way that much of it is done in the background. So then the user only deals with what is on the what is in front of him. So that was kind of to make it easier. So then people don't have to get into a lot of technical stuff. So for the technical people, scripts are available. You can always take a look inside the transformation folder. You'll see a number of scripts that are bundled there. But for the non-technical people, it's just a process where you click and go. At the end of the day, you end up with your data migrated. So I don't know if that kind of addresses your concern.
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Thanks, Christopher. Yeah, so I was on Wambua's neck. I don't know if he's here because I'm sure he's done this a couple of times, and it will be interesting to hear from him and kind of prepare the guys who are here to do this on what they might need to know or what they might need to prepare for. So Wambua, I'm still on your neck. Where are you? Yeah, I think it's like voice either is muted or working on something else. Do we have Rugut in the call? Oh, Rugut, I think is also left. How about Kaunda?
Yes, Bernard, I'm online.
Oh yeah, so I think as we wait, we are really anxious to hear what you have to say about the process, especially your comment to those who are yet to do this, because I'm sure there are people in here who are yet to do any migration. So I'm wondering if you have any piece of advice or anything to anticipate to them.
Yeah, maybe what I can say is that I know at the first time the process may look a bit complicated, but once what we need to know is that if we work with one machine to do the transformation, such that maybe when you go to a site, you only pick the database and then you do the transformation using an environment that you've already set, and then maybe work with an instance of or maybe work in formatting the computer, the server that the server that will be at the facility. Then you'll reduce the number of hours that you'll spend in doing the process. So I know it may look a bit complicated the first time, but once you do this severally, you will find it very easy, and you will not even need to refer to any of the materials that are there, maybe for troubleshooting, unless maybe in specific cases that may be difficult. So just follow the guidelines that have been given, but I'm sure that once you do 2 or 3 sites, you'll find it easy for you to conduct. That's all I have for now.
Yeah, thanks, Kaunda. I think that's encouraging to know. So I think for those who are doing this for the first time, is just I think that's a word of encouragement. So then you don't have to fear like, will you ever manage it? Can you do this? It's very easy. If you look at the SOP that we've shared, this kind of takes you step by step on what you need to do. If you follow that, this will be too easy. But the good thing is, as Kaunda has expressed, once you do it more than once, twice, or 3 times, you'll be good to go. You don't need to refer to the materials anymore. So I think that's a good encouragement. Okay. Anyone else with a comment? Okay, so I think Ugutu, you may want to take over. It's almost 10% remaining. I don't know which data sets are remaining. You could scroll down.
So from my screen, you are able to see how the processing is progressing on, and you can confirm from my screen that almost all my data sets are being processed. Okay, you can always confirm the total number of records and the one that have been processed. And as you can see, all my data sets have been successfully processed. So if you go to our progress bar, it will show the percentage and also tell you how long it has taken for the import and whether it has successfully migrated all data sets. So if in any case there are any issues, errors encountered, it will show you under the progress bar here. So now that we're done with this process, we can go and now recreate and refresh our ETL tables so that we can have our data ready for use.
I have to
And we
drop off.
continue. So you click on home. Okay. Now, from the facility dashboard, already it tell us the total number of patients, total enrolled in HIV in a nutshell. So for us to have other indicators displayed here, we'll have to go and refresh our ETL tables. So for that, we click on home, we go to ETL admin, and then from here, we recreate the tables. Just click on the button for recreate tables, and then that will be pushed to the ETL tables where we'll be able to now easily access and use them. So just be patient for a few more minutes, and then we'll be able to continue. As you can see, it's not all that tiring, and it's not that hard. If you do it once, twice, then the process becomes so easy, and you can easily master and do it without referring to the manuals. So after knowing how to set up the environment for PDI, moving to KenyaEMR, if you have it up and running, then it doesn't take long to have your data imported into OpenMRS DB, and then you can now move on with other processes. Okay. If you encounter any issue, difficulty, or something you don't understand, you can always reach out to the service desk, the toll-free helpline, and all you refer to our tutorials which are available on YouTube, which are easy to follow, just step by step, and you'll be able to get it right. If that one doesn't surface, then you can reach out to the team and you'll be able to get help. All these processes, including the recreation of tables, will always depend on the size of your DB and also the specs of your machine. Have a fast machine with good specs, takes few seconds and you are done.
Yeah, so someone is asking why we have to refresh or recreate tables after the migration. So KenyaEMR has got two sets of databases, two sets of tables. So those who attended our technical training on KenyaEMR, you are told that we have the production tables and we have reporting tables. So when the user keys in data into the system, the data goes into the production tables, not the reporting tables. So the recreate or the refresh of the ETL is just a way of picking data from the production tables to the reporting table so that now you can generate your 731 reports, you can get all your reports from the system much faster. It was a way of kind of improving the speed of generating your report. So I think it is done. Back to you, Ken. I can see the tables are successfully created.
Thank you so much, Bernard. As you can see, the tables have created successfully. Now, if you go back to, we can check on our dashboard to see whether we have data. As you can see, now our indicators on the dashboard have improved and we have data in them, meaning our reporting tables, that is the ETL tables, are already loaded with data. Our production database is also having data. That is why we pull them from the ETL tables. I think up to that point, our migration has been successful from IQCare to KenyaEMR. Thank you so much, and back to you, Bernard.
Thanks. Thank you, Kennedy. So, guys, I think that does it for us. You've seen that journey from IQCare all the way to KenyaEMR. And what you are seeing in front of you is an instance of KenyaEMR that is now ready for use. So the next stage after this is what we are going to cover tomorrow. So how do we then look at the data and how do we tell whether they are concordant? How do we verify that whatever was migrated is what we are seeing right here? So tomorrow we'll be taking you through the data validation and verification process, and also take you through some of the key assumptions that were made during the migration that also may inform some of the differences of the indicators that you might notice when you are doing the comparison one-on-one by indicator. So we encourage you to be available again, join us again tomorrow for that interesting session. So I think at this point, unless there is a question, if you have a question or a comment, you could just raise up your hand, then you do that. Okay, no hand means we are all comfortable. And I also want to believe that, especially those who are doing this for the first time, you are able to follow and go with us step by step all the way to the end. Okay. So at this point, I think I want to invite Diana, if maybe she has a comment or so to make before we close it.
Thanks, Bernard, and thank you for the wonderful session. So maybe just to reiterate what Kaunda said, it may look hard the first time before you put your hands on it and you try it. So kindly try and then you tell us if, give us feedback on the process. We have a team that will be available to support. Like Ogutu said, we have a service desk. I'm hoping everyone in this room already has a toll-free line. So please, usikwame, just feel free to reach out. The first time may be different, but once you do 1 or 2, 3, it's gonna be easy. So I want to thank our Otieno and team that have taken part in this facilitating this session, and also the participants who've been with us from the beginning. I can see we are now 52. Thanks everyone. I know we've gone beyond time. We had envisioned to do this in 2 hours, but I think it was important to have this session as much as it is. Over time, I think it was important so that we don't rush the process. So as you can see, the process started from the beginning, and we have migrated the site in 3 hours. And that was probably because it was still like a training session. It took longer. Once you're going to the site, it's gonna take less time than what we've done. So thanks everyone for joining this, and hoping to see you all tomorrow as we do the continuation part of our data validation. Back to you, Otieno.
Right. Thanks, Dana, for the comments. So as I said, when we started, the session has been recorded. By tomorrow morning, you will find it on YouTube, so you can then go through it at more personal pace. So then you are able to do this. If at all you didn't succeed to do it with us today. So otherwise, tomorrow, as I've said again, we are having the data validation session. Please join us. The Zoom ID remains the same. Use the same ID tomorrow for the training. Otherwise, if there are no more further comments, I would like to thank everyone for staying with us this late. See you tomorrow, same time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.